Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring your favorite characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is made possible by my Patreon supporters, and it's dedicated to everyone who subscribes to my channel. I really wouldn't do any of this without you guys, so thank you. Today we're building a very misunderstood character, Sizoth, aka Reptile. Last of the Saurian people, Reptile's only goal is to discover a way to free his homeworld from Outworld's grasp and discover if he truly is the last of his people. Because of this, Reptile allies himself with the one who destroyed his home, Shao Kahn and the sorcerer Shang Tsung. Over the course of the games, Reptile sides with those who might be able to help with his goals, but sadly these people have no desire to help him. This has led Reptile to become obsessed in his belief he is not alone, and he may one day see his home restored. Yeah, I bet a lot of you didn't know that, did you? Of course, this history is now changed, as he is now an outcast of his Saurian people in the new MK1 game. And that's basically all we know. For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook, Xanathar's Guide to Everything, and Monsters of the Multiverse. We're using standard point array to make things easy, and we are multi-classing, so keep an eye on those minimums. We'll start things off with Dex at 15. You are a stealth expert and can get anywhere you wish. Charisma will follow at a 14. Your existence is driven by a single goal that you will never deviate from. That takes a lot of willpower. Wisdom comes in at 13. You're a survivor, but damn do you make bad choices. You think after 4 bosses all not caring about your issue, with one being the guy who caused the problem, you'd move on and maybe side with the people who care. Con is next at 12. As I've already stated, you're a survivor. You need to have good health for that. Unless you get your heart ripped out by the rude guy who probably hasn't bathed in years, then health doesn't really matter at that point. Strength will be low with a 10. It's not important for this build, and we're dumping intelligence. You keep working for egomaniacal despots. Well, Kotal wasn't that, but he still didn't care to help you. Seriously, side with the people who have the same goals as you, not the guys who are all about violence. Earthrealm is always hiring, and your people were originally from there anyway. Maybe. We don't actually know. Reptile is a Saurian, and D&D has a Saurian race called Lizard Folk, found in Monsters of the Multiverse. Place +2 into Charisma and +1 into Dex. Bite allows you to make an unarmed strike using your mouth and dealing 1d6 plus strength slashing damage, which will be improved later on. Hold Breath lets you hold your breath for up to 15 minutes. Hungry Jaws lets you eat people and gain health. As a bonus action, you can make a special bite attack. If you hit, you gain temporary HP equal to your proficiency bonus, which at the end of this build will only be a 6, but hey, it's something. You can do this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus between long rests. Natural Armor gives you an AC of 13 plus Dex, starting you at an AC of 16 when you're not wearing armor. Nature's Intuition gives you 2 skills, take Perception and Survival. Finally, you have a swimming speed that matches your walking speed. For background, we need the skills Intimidation and Athletics. We're jumping right into the fighting. Level 1 monks start off with 2 skills, grab acrobatics and stealth. Martial arts improves your unarmed strikes and simple melee weapons. Now, when not wearing armor, your unarmed strikes and simple melee weapons can now be dex-based for attack and damage. You can make an unarmed strike as a bonus action after taking the attack action, and your unarmed strikes and simple melee weapons can use martial arts dice for damage. This starts off at a d4 but will grow over time. Remember, your jaws count as an unarmed strike, so now it's dex-based and we'll still use a d6 till we get better. You also have unarmored defense, which improves your AC when not wearing armor, but your natural armor will always be better, so who cares? Alright, time to grab some acid spit. Level 1 sorcerers have a sorceress origin. Draconic Bloodline, found in the Player's Handbook, will do. Draconic Resilience gives you +1 to your HP for every sorcerer level you take. It also grants you scales that give you a better AC when not wearing armor, which is 13 plus Dex, which is actually what you already have. Dragon Ancestor gives you a source for your dragon blood, which you will not be needing till later on in all honesty. But still, go with a black or copper Dragon Ancestor. Spell casting makes you a spellcaster. You start off with 4 cantrips and 2 spells. For your spells, Acid Splash lets you spit acid out to a range of 60 feet at 1 target or 2 targets if they're standing next to each other. The targets must make a dex save or take 1d6 acid damage. Poison Spray sprays a poison mist at a creature within 10 feet of you, forcing a con save and dealing 1d12 poison damage on a failure. Tasha's Caustic Brew fires a stream of acid in a 30-foot line. Each creature within the line must make a dex save or be covered in acid. Until the acid is removed with an action or washed off, the creature takes 2d4 acid damage at the start of each of its turns. Disguise Self lets you appear as a normal person, because evidently that's a thing now in MK1. For 1 hour, you appear as someone else, regardless of the race, and can even appear shorter or taller, but this is just an illusion and will not hold up to inspection. You get 2 more cantrips, but none are really for you. I would say take no more, but it's up to you. Level 1 Rogues begin with another skill for multi-classing. Normally, if you're going to multi-class, start with Rogue for more skills, but you already had enough skills to start, and we don't really need to overload you. Expertise lets you double your proficiency bonus with 2 skills. Place this into Stealth and Survival. Sneak Attack will be useless for you. Sorry, but it will. This adds damage to an attack that you have advantage on or are within 5 feet of an ally, and when you make an attack with a weapon that has the finesse or range properties and you don't use weapons, your attacks are not going to be finesse even though you use dex. That's not how it works, I'm sorry. You'd be surprised how often people twist that rule up. If you want, just grab a dagger and you get sneak attack. But in all honesty, we're just taking 2 levels of rogue and that's it. Level 2 Rogues gain Cunning Action. Dash, Disengage, and Hide are bonus actions to you. Level 2 Monks gain Unarmored Movement. Now when not wearing armor, your movement is increased. Your speed is now 40 feet. Key grants you key points. These key points equal your monk level and can be used to perform special maneuvers and replenish on a short or long rest. For these moves, Flurry of Blows lets you make 2 unarmed strikes with a bonus action after taking the attack action for 1 key point. Patient Defense costs 1 key point and turns Dodge into a bonus action. Step of the Wind turns Dash or Disengage into a bonus action and doubles your jump distance for 1 key point. Your character level 5 now. Acid Splash and Poison Spray now do 2 damage dice each. Level 3 Monks receive their subclass. Drunken Master found in Xanathars will improve your speed and attacks. You gain the skill Performance and the feature Drunken Technique. Now when you pay to do a Flurry of Blows, your walking speed is increased for your current turn, and you can disengage as part of the same bonus action. Until the end of your current turn, your speed is increased by 10 feet. Deflect Missile lets you reduce damage you take from a ranged attack with a reaction by 1d10 plus dex plus monk level. If you reduce the damage to 0 and have a free hand, you can catch the projectile and yeet it back as part of the same action for 1 key point. This has a range of 20 feet or 60 feet long and deals your martial arts dice in damage. Level 4 Monks earn our first ability score improvement. Place this into Dex for better attack, damage, AC, and more. Slow Fall lets you reduce falling damage as a reaction by 5 times your monk level. Quicken Healing lets you heal yourself by spending 2 key points as an action and rolling a martial arts dice and adding your proficiency bonus to it. Level 5 Monks gain Extra Attack. You can now attack twice with a single attack action. Stunning Strike lets you stun enemies you hit by spending a key point and forcing a con save. Should they fail, they are now stunned until the end of your next turn. The DC for this save is based on your Wisdom, not your Charisma, which will be your spell DC. Focused Aim lets you turn a miss into a hit. By spending up to 3 key points, you can increase the attack roll by 2 per point spent. Finally, your martial arts dice are now a D6. Level 2 Sorcerers have Font of Magic. This grants you sorcery points equal to your sorcerer level. With these points, you can burn them to regain spell slots or burn spell slots to regain sorcery points. Next level, you'll gain more effects with these, but getting spell slots back is great. You regain all used points at the end of a long rest. For your new spell, Ray of Sickness launches a blast at one creature within 60 feet. On a hit, the creature takes 2d8 poison damage and must make a con save or be poisoned until the end of your next turn. Level 3 Sorcerers receive Meta Magic. These are options that you can use to alter your spells by spending sorcery points. You get 2 options at this level. For these options, Distant Spell doubles the range of a spell for 1 point if it has a range of 5 or greater. If it has a range of touch, it gains a range of 30 feet instead. Heightened Spell costs 3 points and gives disadvantage to 1 creature who must now make a save from your spell. You also receive 2nd level spells. For your new spell, Invisibility turns you or a willing creature you touch invisible for 1 hour hour while you maintain the spell. The spell ends early if the invisible creature attacks or casts a spell. This doesn't actually come up much except in the background lore, but yeah, Reptile can turn people invisible. Level 4 sorcerers earn another ability score improvement. Place this in Charisma for better spell attack and DC. For your new spell, Dragon's Breath gives you a Dragon's Breath weapon for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. Choosing a damage type like acid or poison, you can create a 15-foot cone and force a dex save on everyone within the cone. Should they fail, they take 3d6 damage of the chosen type. You also gain a new cantrip, Go Nuts. Your character level 11 now. Acid Splash and Poison Spray now do 3 damage dice each. Level 5 sorcerers gain Magical Guidance. Now when you fail a skill check, you can spend 1 sorcery point to reroll the skill check. You also gain 3rd level spells. For your new spell, Spider Climb allows you to cling to walls like a spider for 1 hour while you maintain the spell. Level 6 Draconic Bloodline sorcerers now have Elemental Affinity. Now when you deal spell damage that is associated to your dragon ancestry, you will be able to add your Charisma modifier to damage. You can also spend 1 sorcery point to gain resistance to the damage type for 1 hour. For your new spell, Haste sends you into overdrive for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. While active, your speed is double and you gain +2 to AC, you have advantage on dex saves, and you gain a free action. This free action can only be used to dash, disengage, hide, use an object, or make 1 weapon attack. Once the spell ends, you cannot move or take an action until after your next turn as you are drained of your energy. Level 6 monks receive Key Empowered Strikes. Your unarmored strikes are now magical. Tipsy Sway lets you stand up from being prone with only 5 feet of movement instead of half, and you can now redirect attacks. When a melee attack misses you, you can spend 1 key point as a reaction and move the attack to another creature within 5 feet of you that you can see other than the original attacker. Your unarmored movement is now 45 feet. Level 7 monks gain Evasion. Now when you succeed a dex save, you take no damage and half on a failure. Stillness of Mind lets you use an action to end 1 effect on yourself that is causing you to be charmed or frightened. Level 8 monks earn another ability score improvement to cap off dex for an AC of 18. Level 9 monks have their unarmored movement improved. You can now run up vertical surfaces and across liquid surfaces. Heads up, if you stop, you fall. Your character level 17 now. Acid Splash and Poison Spray now do 4 damage dice each. Level 10 monks receive Purity of Body. You are now immune to disease and poison. Your unarmored movement is now 50 feet. Level 11 Drunken Master monks gain Drunkard's Luck. Now when you make an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw at disadvantage, you can spend 2 key points to cancel the disadvantage. Your martial arts dice are now a D8. Our final level is level 12 monk, and you earn our final ability score improvement, Cap Off Charisma for a spell attack of +11 and a DC of 19. Now that we've hit level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 10, Dex 20, Con 12, Intelligence 8, Wisdom 13, Charisma 20. Your total levels are Monk 12, Sorcerer 6, Rogue 2. Let's dive in. You are the ultimate assassin. You have a stealth of +17, can turn invisible, can reach any location, hide underwater for 15 minutes, can make yourself appear as another race, and all your attacks are magical. You are able to attack up to 4 times, dealing 1d8 +5 for each attack. You also have a short range attacks that spit acid and poison. To round everything out, you have an AC of 18, have a 50-foot movement that you can double or even triple. You can reduce damage, turn a miss into a hit, end disadvantage on yourself and effects on yourself. You're immune to poison, can hit and run easily, and give disadvantage to someone you are targeting with a spell. Downside. Well, firstly, you're only bringing in an HP of 123, taking the average, so rush enemies and get out fast. You also have dirt for intelligence. You dumb. Spellcasters target soft stats, and that's a good target right now. Finally, and this isn't too big, you have some wasted features. You have 3 different AC calculators, 2 of which are the same, and you can't use sneak attack at all. This is just a slight waste because you still receive good features regardless. Slink through the shadows and get the drop on your enemies. Move fast, strike first, and get out of there. Thank you for joining me today. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube and Spotify. Make sure to check out my Patreon, where you can help decide next week's new character.